Hello, this is Queen of Cups with another lesson in my tarot school to teach you the meaning of the cards. And this time it's time for the High Priestess. We have gone through the Fool and through the Magician to the High Priestess. So 0, 1, 2. So this is, as I have told in previous lessons, the journey of human evolution. This was when we were still in the paradisic state and still connected to God and everything. We just follow our own intuition. Like animals do today, they don't think so much before they do things. They just do by instinct, by intuition. And then we woke up with a human mind. It was when we have ate the forbidden fruit and kind of evolved. We woke up in a human body with a left side brain, being able to calculate our future, to see what has come before and kind of getting a picture of what will come next. So we got a little bit more cautious, and we also got a little bit more egocentric, maybe, because it was not about being a part of everything. It was about me, mine. So it's almost like a 3-year-old defining that they have a separate self. But with the High Priestess, we learned that nothing was ever lost. The spiritual part of humanity was never lost. From the Spellcaster's Handbook that I recently looked into or started to use, I have had that tarot deck for quite some while, but I opened it recently and I have shared it with you on my generals. So from that handbook, I learned that the magician actively does, and the High Priestess quietly knows. She is in the know. She didn't lost the grid. She didn't lost the communication with nature. She still is in tune with nature. So if we go through our body, our feminine side, we will still have connection with our feelings, our intuition, our instincts, and so on. So she knows because she has a direct contact with the divine. She listens intensely to her own feelings and her own thoughts. She taps into the knowledge of the past and her visions of the future. And she reads the symbols, everything around her, to know the path forward and the will of the divine. So you can see this, she is water, so she is very emotional. She feels her emotions. It's like she swims around in the Ace of Cups. She is also totally connected with her thoughts. In the Legacy of the Divine, we have an owl here. I love that symbol because it's her wisdom, her angel radio. So your thoughts can sometimes be very scary. They can scare you, freak you out, because they might have a quarrel with someone inside of your head. They might tell you things like about yourself that's scary, but they actually just wants to make you aware of something. So it's a good thing to listen to your thoughts, but not letting them nag and nag and nag. When they are getting too much, you write them down, and then you feel your feelings in your body instead, and that will kind of get you back into the now state, which the Fool and the High Priestess share. They are both like thinking very little about consequences, because they are totally in trust of nature, while the magician is a little bit planning for different consequences. Try to schedule, like, if I do that, this will happen. If I do that, that will happen. But it's a little bit of a limitation to just use your logic mind. She uses her logic mind, but she uses her feelings, her past experience, as do the magician, and her future visions. In the Spellcaster's Tarot, we can see her holding a baby, the future visions. She's also, of course, she has the moon symbols everywhere, so she's very in tune with the moon and the different phases of the moon and whatever new feeling is coming over her, following like we are in contact with moon and planets, and one day we can feel really down and we don't really know why, but the high priestess would know why. She has the contact with the divine and with the planets. So some days you might feel like crap, and it's like the table is turning, the planets are turning, and a certain energy is reaching down to you, towards you. She also had the pomegranate in the background here, and the pomegranate is the apple that we once ate in paradise. So the pomegranate have like 61 seeds or something similar to that. Sorry for my cat. And it is a real fertile fruit. It's just containing with seeds. So it's talking about all the possibilities that's out there if we go with this evolution. So we can also see the black pillar here and the white pillar. So the black pillar is like everything that's unknown, everything that's in the dark that she doesn't know about herself just yet. Get some tight. And this is the known, the white, the thing that she knows. So sometimes we just try to be white, we just try to be pure, and we get a very big shadow. But the high priestess, she's a little bit like in between. She's neither totally pure and neither totally evil. We talk about the magician going like the fine line between black and white, but the high priestess is the black and white. She doesn't really judge herself in that way. If she feels angry, she will show anger. If she feels like she likes you, she will show that she likes you. So it's not she's not really thinking through things. She's very direct. She's almost like she doesn't know social rules. She doesn't understand social rules. She don't understand this. She is taking her orders kind of straight from the divine. So the high priestess is like a person that isn't really well raised, but still are very intuitive and very intelligent. But so in a human sense, she might not follow social rules and codes. But she's very much in self-respect, so therefore people still respects her and might be a little bit afraid of her as well. So if you get the high priestess in a reading, it kind of talks about what you know. It talks about what you know intuitively. Maybe something that you know, but you maybe don't want to know it. You don't want to have that knowledge, because she sees also the very ugly truth with things. She sees the things that's in people's shadows, and she get this communication from the moon. So if you are with a certain person that you maybe you like them, but you get this awful feeling in your stomach, like something is really wrong, and this is the moon, your subconscious communicating with you. So see my cat there, she's going into the wardrobe. See if she's managed that. So cats are very much like the high priestess, and they don't follow rules and regulations. They have their own codes. They are feeling righteous to do certain things that feels good for them, because they are in this divine divine knowing. And you can see this with cats also. They like to they can be very, like they like ghosts or lie on curry crosses and things like this. So they are the witch true companion. And the high priestess is a little bit like the witch, but it's more like in this sense of she's knowing a lot of things, and that might be very scary towards other kinds of authority. A person that can tap into a deeper, higher knowledge with even needing to open a single page in her book. She just knows. Also, another thing with the high priestess is that she was the first woman the first woman of humankind. Okay, she was the first woman. She's Lilith. Lilith, her symbol is also the owl. But Adam didn't really like Adam comes a little bit later here with the emperor, but he really didn't like the first woman because she was too much listening to herself and her own inner vibes, didn't listen so very much to his authority or the rules of society. So he didn't like her, and he took a second wife, and that is the Empress. That's a much more outgiving energy. She more likely gives of her own blood. The High Priestess, she demands something as well. If you are to be with her or connect with her, you need to show that you have the proper knowledge. It's like there's a certain, she won't let you into her temple or through pass here into back to the paradise before you have learned certain things, before you have certain knowledge. So it's like she is guarding guarding the book of knowledge. Adam at this point wasn't ready for this. He wanted to play another game of life that called society between people, and it was much needed. So it wasn't, it's like human beings needed to take a detour to get deeper knowledge. We were not supposed to stay in this kind of knowledge. We needed to actually find it out for ourselves, not just tap into the divine knowledge and know everything like beforehand. We needed to experience it, like get down and dirty. But the High Priestess doesn't really. So she keeps a lot of secrets. She has a lot of things that she knows and that she doesn't share. So sometimes in a reading, the High Priestess can also talk about secrets, also mistresses, since but actually she wasn't the mistress, she was the first woman, so it's rather the Empress that's the mistress. But because she is connected to secrets and she was kind of not chosen by Adam, she has become like a symbol for the mistress. But the High Priestess, she doesn't really need other humans. She needs to be in her own energy a lot, and would probably be very overwhelmed with being too much with people. If they run around a lot of people here in her temple, she would probably throw them out. So she's not the most social. So maybe she is just connecting with people when she feels the urge to, and not so much in between. So she's a little bit like the hermit in that way. So what more can we say about the High Priestess? She's about fertility. She's connected to the moon. The moon is the energy that rules her and that she rules. She can also be connected to, yes, many say that she's connected to Pisces. So she already has the knowledge that kind of Jesus had or Buddha had. She's already in that state. And it's she also had the cross on her chest. It's talking about astronomy, like certain astronomical events in the night sky, and especially around the ending of the year, the Yule, the Christmas. These days we say that Christmas is to celebrate the birth of Jesus, but that's of course not true, since he was born in the spring. It's actually our real new year. We have the midwinter solstice around the 21st or 22nd, and that is the real Christmas, so to speak. And the cross here is a marking of the end of the year and the beginning of the next one, and it's a multi-dimensional symbol, but I'm not going to go too deep into that right now. She's also number 2, and that makes her connect to all the twos. 2 of wands, for example, self-control. 2 of cups, love. She can feel love. She's her dress is like all Queen of Cups or all Ace of Cups. Sorry, 2 of Swords, making a decision. It's like using all your knowledge, all your intuition to be able to make a decision. With the 2 of Swords, we can often see that the person in the picture is turned away from their moon and their emotion, which make them unable to make a decision. But really with the Two of Swords, it's about making a decision and using all your available knowledge. And also the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles is about balance, inner balance. It's also about change and step-by-step knowledge. And also she is connected to the 11, and that's the Justice card. Justice is again balance, that she needs inner balance. This is what she lives for, being in her inner balance, in her inner state, paradisic state. And also the 20, the Judgment card. 1 plus 1 in 11 is 2, a High Priestess. 2 plus 0 in the Judgment is 2, the High Priestess. So the Judgment is when you find a clear judgment, and you use your antenna, kind of your inner child, or this what the High Priestess use to make a clear judgment, and then you go by that. So she's very much ruling law and order, okay? But it's a universal law and order, and it's above man-made law and order. So she rules all the laws that's in the universe with justice and judgment. So she's a very strict teacher, and when you meditate on her, she can both my first meditation with her kind of shocked me, because she scratched me, and then she braided my hair, put in Lilith in the hair when she braided it, and then she threw all the tarot cards on me, and that was a real treatment. So after that I was all whimsical and coming out of her temple, feeling a little bit humiliated, to be honest. And this is what she do. She doesn't take in consideration other people's feelings. She just very straight from the source knowledge, okay? So that was that about the High Priestess. Eventually I will come back with a video about the Empress, but I do this for fun. So when I have time and I feel that it's making me happy, so it's not something I'm going to stress with putting out. I'm doing this for fun, and I hope you're having fun with me. Okay, take really good care, and bye bye.